Hello everyone, this is Claire from Susan's family. Today, I'll teach you how to make a Siyang vest. For this electronic tutorial, you can check it out by searching for Susan's family. This product comes in several sizes. The making method is identical, it's just that the stitch and row numbers in some positions are different. They are all divided into the body, the front and back pieces, and the edging, these three parts. First, crochet the body in rounds. Then, separately work the front and back panels. And connect at the shoulders. Finally, add the edging around the neckline and sleeves. Let's start with the body. Crochet from the bottom upwards. Begin with a chain ring method. Following the starting chain, crochet counterclockwise in rounds according to the corresponding pattern. The stitches we'll use include chain, double crochet, slip stitch, single crochet, and 2 cm length of loop stitch. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Before we start, we need to prepare the tools that will be used for the loop stitch. Crochet technique is important here. Pick up a card like this one, then cut out a strip that's about 2 cm wide. It doesn't matter whether you cut horizontally or vertically, as long as the narrowest side is 2 cm. Here, I've already cut it out. Set this card aside for later use. Next, start with a foundation chain. To make it easier for everyone to watch, I'll demonstrate using cotton yarn, random colors, for specific yarn, for color schemes and crochet hook sizes. Please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. Hold the yarn with your left hand. Hold the hook with your right hand. Start by making a slip knot. This knot does not count as a stitch. Slightly tighten it. Now start crocheting chains. 1, 2. Continue until you finish the required number of stitches. Here, I work a smaller number of stitches for the sample. Refer to the chart for the exact stitch count. After completing, tidy up the chains. Place the side with the braid facing up. Wrap the chain into a circle. Then locate the front loop of the first chain. That is, this strand of yarn, on the back side of the chain. Work 1 slip stitch. Once done, pull tight. Now check again at this point. Make sure the chains don't twist. That completes the foundation chains. Now move on to the first round. Chain 3 as the beginning chain for double crochet. This counts as 1 double crochet, corresponding to the first chain of the beginning chain. Then skip 2 chains. Pick the front loop of the third chain on the left. That is, this strand behind the braid. Work 1 double crochet. Continue skipping 2 chains. Pick the front loop of the third chain on the left. Work 1 double crochet, repeat 3 times. Mind that here we are only working the front loops. I won't repeat this moving forward. Now counting the standing stitch. That makes 5 stitches in total. Then skip 1 chain. Pick the second chain on the left and work 5 double crochets. After completing, pick the adjacent chain on the left and work 5 double crochets. Mind that the front loop of this stitch is tightened, making it a bit hard to find. Be sure not to hook the wrong one. Then skip 1 chain. Pick the second chain on the left and work 1 double crochet. Then skip 2 chains. Work 1 double crochet, repeat 8 times. After finishing, skip 1 chain. Work 5 double crochets. Consider these 2 groups of 5 double crochets. Along with the stitches in between, as one motif. I'll demonstrate another group. Pick the front loop of the adjacent chain on the left. And work 5 double crochets. Then work 9 double crochets. Pay attention, the first double crochet skips 1 chain. The following double crochets skip 2 chains each. After completing them, skip 1 more chain. Pick the second chain from the left and work 5 double crochets. One motif is now finished. Repeat this motif all the way down. Finish crocheting this round. After completing the last group of 5 double crochets, work 4 more double crochets according to the previous pattern. These stitches combine with the half motif at the starting position to form a complete motif. Together, they make up one full pattern group. Tidy up the fabric piece. Make sure the piece isn't twisted. Then pick up the third chain from the turning chains. Work 1 slip stitch. Pull tight. The first round is now completed. Continue to crochet the second round. Chain 1 is the beginning chain. Pick up the stitch below the beginning chain, and work 1 single crochet. That is, pick at the slip stitch joining position and crochet. After completing it, pick the adjacent stitch on the left. And work 1 single crochet. Continue to work 1 single crochet in each corresponding stitch all the way down. Pick up the stitches and work single crochets. Finish crocheting this round. Once completed, join with a slip stitch into the first single crochet. Pull tight. The second round is complete. Move on to the third round. For this round, you need to crochet with a loop stitch. Connect with the previous yarn tail. Start with 1 chain as your beginning chain, then enlarge the loop on the crochet hook. At this point, insert the pre-cut card. Pay attention not to twist the loop. Then adjust the size of the loop. This completes 1 stitch. Continue by picking up the adjacent stitch and inserting the hook. Yarn over and pull the yarn through. Crochet 1 chain. Then stretch the loop. Place it over the card. That's the second stitch. This is the technique for crocheting a loop stitch. Match each stitch to the next one. Crochet 7 more loop stitches. After completing, pick the adjacent stitch on the left. Crochet an increase with 5 loop stitches. 1, 2, 3. The increase of these 5 loop stitches is now done. Continue by picking the adjacent stitch on the left. Crochet 5 loop stitches. After finishing, pick the adjacent stitch on the left. Crochet 1 loop stitch for each stitch. Crochet a total of 17 stitches. While crocheting, if the card cannot accommodate the row, you can remove the card. Place the completed part back in its original position. Continue with the crochet process. After finishing, pick the next stitch. Crochet an increase with 5 loop stitches. Complete one group of the pattern. Let's take a look at the fabric piece. At the beginning and ending of the pattern group in the first round, on the corresponding single crochet stitches, there are increases with 5 loop stitches. For the rest of the stitches, crochet 1 loop stitch for each stitch. That is, between these two increases. Crochet 17 loop stitches. Continue downward following this pattern. Crochet the entire round until it's finished. After completing the last increase of the loop stitch, on the remaining 8 stitches, crochet 1 loop stitch for each one. That completes the third round. Now move on to the fourth round. You need to pick up the loops from the previous circle of loop stitches and work single crochets. Find the first loop of the loop stitch on the left side. Pay attention not to twist the loops here. Insert your hook, yarn over and pull through. Be mindful not to pull the carried yarn too tight, to avoid shrinking the loops. Then, make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Pick up the same loop and work 1 single crochet. At this point, you can remove the card. Next, below the adjacent single crochet, on the left side of the chart, there are 2 corresponding loop stitch loops. Use the hook to pick up the 2 loops from the loop stitches on the left. Make sure the loops don't twist. Work 1 single crochet. Continue working single crochets while picking up 2 loops from the loop stitches at the same time. Repeat this 3 times. Now we've reached the position where increases were made with the loop stitches in the previous round. Work 1 single crochet into each corresponding loop. You will work a total of 10 single crochets. Once done, continue to work one single crochet into every 2 loops. Repeat this 4 times. Then, pick up 1 loop and work 1 single crochet. Pick up 2 loops and work 1 single crochet. Repeat 4 times. Then work 1 single crochet into 1 loop. Repeat this 10 times. Let's take a look at the crochet pattern here. On the 10 loops where increases were made in the previous round, work 1 single crochet into each corresponding loop. In the middle section, where no increases or decreases are made, except for working 1 single crochet into the individual loops in the middle, all others are worked as 2 loops corresponding to 1 single crochet. Repeat this process separately 4 times. Continue working according to this pattern. Complete this round. After everything is finished, join with a slip stitch into the first single crochet stitch. Tighten. The 4th round is now completed. Next, work on the 5th round. Start with 1 chain as your beginning chain. Then enlarge the loop on the crochet hook. Work 1 long stitch. Pick the stitch of the adjacent single crochet on the left side. Correspondingly make 1 long stitch for each single crochet stitch. Finish crocheting this round. The 5th round is now completed. Move on to the 6th round. Here, the first single crochet needs to pick up the last 4 loops from the previous round. Crochet together with the starting 5 loops. Insert the hook from right to left through these 9 loops. Pay attention that none of the loops should be twisted. Yarn over and hook out. Note that the carrying yarn should be a bit loose. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Pick up these 9 loops and make 1 single crochet. Then make another 1 chain for transition. Pick the adjacent loop on the left side and make 1 single crochet. Chain 1 to transition. For each loop below, work 1 single crochet and 1 chain. Repeat 9 times. After completing, pick up 9 loops on the left side at the same time. and make 1 single crochet. Chain 1 for transition. Then, for the next 10 loops, work 1 single crochet in each loop, and chain 1 between these 2 single crochets to connect. After finishing, let's take a look at the fabric piece. For every 10 loops spaced apart, work 1 single crochet correspondingly. Work 1 single crochet that combines 9 picked up loops together. Chain 1 between each single crochet to connect. Continue downward following this pattern. Complete this round. Work 1 single crochet in the last loop. Chain 1. Pick up the first single crochet stitch, and join with a slip stitch. Pull tight. The 6th round is now completed. Continue to work on the 7th round. Start with 3 chains as the turning chain. Skip the left side chains. Pick up the next single crochet stitch, and work 1 double crochet. Skip the middle chains as you go down. Correspondingly, work 1 double crochet for each single crochet stitch. Repeat 3 times. After completing, pick up the left single crochet stitch. Work 5 double crochets. Then pick up the next single crochet stitch. Work 5 double crochets. Work 1 double crochet into the next single crochet stitch below. Repeat 9 times. Then work 5 double crochets into the next stitch. Repeat 2 times. Continue downward following this pattern. Crochet the entire round. After finishing the last double crochet, join with a slip stitch into the beginning chain. Pull tight. The 7th round is completed. Next, the 8th round. Chain 1 to start. Pick up the stitch below the beginning chain, and work 1 single crochet. Work 1 single crochet in each stitch below. Crochet the entire round. After completing, join with a slip stitch. Pull tight. The 8th round is now finished. Let's take a look at the fabric piece. Treat rounds 1 through 8 as one pattern. Repeat. Continue crocheting by repeating this pattern. The number of pattern repeats will vary depending on the size. Since the complete chart is large, the repeated sections are omitted in the diagram. The number of omitted pattern repeats is marked on the chart. While crocheting, you might encounter situations where the yarn tail isn't long enough. In this case, you'll need to join a new thread. Take the new yarn. Leave about 10 centimeters. Tie a knot on the end of the old yarn. Pull the knot to the base of the yarn tail. Continue crocheting with the new yarn. Make sure the knot and the yarn tails are kept on the wrong side of the fabric. Once everything is completed, weave in the ends along the texture of the wrong side of the piece. This is the method for joining yarn. The stitches needed for the remaining part of the body are as follows. Everything before has been demonstrated. Refer to the video demonstration for details. Follow the chart and crochet them. Do not cut the yarn after completion. Up to this point, the crocheting method for the body has been explained. Next, we will crochet the chest piece. It is divided into two parts, the back piece and the front piece. Start with crocheting the back piece. Crochet it in two sections, the sleeve cap and the shoulder parts. The sleeve cap part connects to the ending position of the body. Along half of the body, crochet back and forth evenly. Decrease stitches on both sides to shape the sloping shoulder. Cut out the back neck opening in the middle. After completion, join the yarn on the remaining half of the body. Crochet correspondingly for the front piece. Once everything is done, connect the shoulders. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Let's start by crocheting the sleeve cap part of the back piece. Due to different sizes, the motif positions in the last round of the body may vary. Therefore, the stitches at the starting position for the back piece are also different. However, the method of crocheting motifs back and forth is the same. The sample here will explain using the small size as an example. For other sizes, you can first watch the video demonstration. Learn the crochet methods for corresponding motif positions. Then refer to the chart for specific situations while crocheting. Before crocheting, start from the ending position of the bodice last round. Divide it into two identical halves. And mark with a stitch marker. The sample here has already been marked. Let's start with the first row. This row is crocheted on the right side of the piece. Read the chart from right to left. The stitch pattern corresponds to the fifth row of the motif. That is, crochet one stitch for each stitch shown in the pattern. The first stitch corresponds to the slip stitch below. Continue picking up the adjacent stitch on the left and crocheting the stitch. Until you reach the position marked by the stitch marker. Now you've reached this point. The first row is complete. Continue with the second row. This row is crocheted on the wrong side of the piece. Read the chart from left to right. Turn the fabric to the wrong side. At the same time, pick up 4 loops. Draw the yarn through. Then make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Pick up these 4 loops and make 1 single crochet. Remove the card. Then make 1 chain for transition. Pick the left side loop, and make 1 single crochet. Continue crocheting according to the chart for the corresponding stitches. Finish this row. The last single crochet. Pick up the remaining 5 loops and crochet them. The second row is now completed. Move on to the third row. Make 3 beginning chains. Turn the work piece. Skip 1 chain loop. Pick the left single crochet stitch, and make 1 double crochet. Note that the wrong side stitch is on the top left. Continue picking up single crochet stitches, and making double crochets according to the pattern chart. Complete this row. The third row is done. Move on to the fourth row. Make 1 beginning chain. Turn the work piece. Pick up the stitch from the row below and make 1 single crochet. Work 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way down. Finish this row. For the last single crochet, crochet it into the previous row's beginning chain. The fourth row is now complete. The fifth and sixth rows have a simpler crocheting method. Follow the previous demonstration. Refer to the chart and work back and forth with corresponding stitches. Everyone can refer to the previous demonstration. To finish them, I'll use this swatch to demonstrate the crocheting method for row 7. Turn the fabric. First, pick up the first stitch and work 1 slip stitch. This will weave the yarn tail into this position. When working back and forth with the loop stitch, you should always work a slip stitch on the first stitch for transition. I won't repeat this in the following instructions. Then work 1 loop stitch. Continue following the chart to crochet the loop stitches. Finish this row. Row 7 is now complete. Next, start on row 8. First, turn the piece. Pick up the first loop and draw the yarn through. Chain 1 to begin. Pick up this loop and work 1 single crochet. Then pick up both loops from the left side at the same time. Work 1 single crochet. Continue crocheting while following the chart. Complete this row. Finally, work 1 single crochet into this loop. Row 8 is now completed. Moving forward, everyone can follow this method. Refer to the chart and work back and forth with the corresponding stitches until you finish row 15 for the small size, which means completing the chart, the row where the crossing stitch appears. I'll demonstrate with this sample swatch the crocheting method for row 16 of the small size. This row is crocheted on the wrong side of the piece. Turn the wrong side of the fabric toward you. Pick up the first loop and pull the yarn through. Make one beginning chain to start. Pick this loop and work one single crochet. Then, correspondingly make one single crochet into the next 2 loops. Repeat this 4 times. Now we're at the position before the crossing stitch. Place the 5 chain loops from the increase point on the left side. Put in front of the piece. Pick up the 6th loop on the left. Work one single crochet into each corresponding stitch. Repeat this 5 times. After completing, pick up the 5 loops that were skipped earlier. From right to left, work 5 single crochets, 1 single crochet in each stitch. Pay attention, crochet the loops in sequence. Don't twist them. Everyone look! The chain loops form a crossing here. Let's take a look at the right side of the piece. The 5 loops from the right are on top. Which matches the chart? Continue picking up 2 loops on the left. And work 1 single crochet. Proceed by following the chart for the rest. Before reaching the next chain crossing position. We've now reached this point. Next, work 1 crossing loop stitch. Place the 5 loops from the left to the front of the piece. Starting from the 6th loop. Correspondingly make 5 single crochets. Once completed, pick up the 5 loops reserved in front. And correspondingly make 5 single crochets. Another crossing loop stitch is now complete. Continue downward using this method. Follow the pattern chart for crocheting. Once you finish this row, row 16 is now complete. For row 17, make 1 chain in each corresponding stitch. Complete them on your own. Next, move on to row 18, which is the row above the last row of chains. Turn the wrong side of the piece toward yourself. First, pick up the 5 loops and draw the yarn tail through. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet into these 5 loops. Then pick up the next 3 adjacent loops on the left side, and work 1 single crochet. Next, according to the chart, there is a red slip stitch symbol. Here you need to enlarge the loop. Then pick up the 4 loops on the left side. And work 1 slip stitch. You can see that the braid formed by this slip stitch is longer. The length of the slip stitch braid here is not fixed. Adjust according to your own tension. Just keep the piece flat overall. Then make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet into these 4 loops. Chain 2 for transition. Repeat this 3 times. After completing, continue by working 1 single crochet in the same stitch. Then enlarge the loop. Pick up the 3 loops on the left and work 1 slip stitch. Then make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet into these 3 loops. After completing. Next, pick up all 9 loops on the left at the same time. Work 2 single crochets. Then work 1 single crochet into the 3 loops on the left. After completing, chain 3 for transition. Find the 4th stitch on the right. That is, the single crochet stitch above these 3 loops. Work 1 slip stitch. Then chain 1 as your beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet into this chain loop. Chain 2 for transition. Repeat 3 times. After completing, work 1 single crochet into this chain space. This group of stitches is now done. I'll demonstrate another group of stitches. Enlarge the loop. Work 1 slip stitch into the 4 loops on the left side. Chain 1 to begin. Work 4 single crochets into these 4 loops. Work 2 chains between each of the single crochets for connection. After completing, enlarge the loop. Work 1 slip stitch into the 3 loops on the left side. Chain 1 to begin. Continue working 1 single crochet in the same position. Then pick up the next 9 loops on the left side. Work 2 single crochets. Continue picking up the next 3 loops on the left side, and work 1 single crochet. Then chain 3 as a transition. Pick up the 4th stitch on the right, and work 1 slip stitch to join. Chain 1 to begin for the next row. Pick up the chain space, and work 4 single crochets. Work 2 chains between each of the single crochets for connection. Another group of patterns is completed. Continue downward following this method. Repeat crocheting this group of patterns. Finish this row. Complete the last half group of patterns. Pick up the last 5 loops and work 1 single crochet. Row 18 is now completed. Continue with row 19. Make 3 beginning chains to start. Chain 3 more as a transition. Turn the work piece. Pick up the elongated slip stitch braid corresponding to the hole. Work 1 double crochet. Chain 5 as a bridge. Then pick up the position on the left side. Work 1 single crochet into the middle chain space. Chain 5 as a transition. Pick up the elongated slip stitch hole on the left. Work 1 double crochet. Chain 3 as a transition. Then pick up the position on the left side. The middle chain space. Work 1 single crochet. Chain 3 as a bridge. Pick up the elongated slip stitch braid on the left. Work 1 double crochet. Continue all the way down following this method. Refer to the chart and finish crocheting this row. Work 1 double crochet in the last elongated slip stitch hole. Chain 3 as a transition. Pick up the last single crochet and work 1 double crochet. Row 19 is now completed. Move on to row 20. Chain 1 to start. Turn the work piece. Work 1 single crochet in the stitch below. Then pick up the left chain space and work 3 single crochets. Continue by picking up the double crochet stitch and working 1 single crochet. Work 4 single crochets in the left chain space. Pick up the left single crochet stitch and work 1 single crochet. Refer to the chart as you proceed. Pick up chain spaces and stitches to work single crochets. Finish this row. Row 20 is completed. Next, work on row 21. Start with 4 chains. This counts as one treble crochet. Match it with the last single crochet. Work 1 chain for transition. Turn the work piece. Skip the second single crochet. Pick up the third single crochet and work 1 treble crochet, yarn over the hook twice. Insert into the stitch, draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the next 2 loops on your hook. Repeat this 3 times. This completes the treble crochet. Continue with 1 chain. Skip 1 stitch. Pick up the second stitch on the left side, work 1 treble crochet. Work 1 treble crochet, skipping 1 stitch in between. Chain 1 to connect each treble crochet. Finish this row. Row 21 is now completed. For the remaining rows of the back piece armhole section, work back and forth. Crochet evenly with the corresponding stitches. Refer to the chart and complete these rows. After finishing the back piece armhole section, move on to crochet the shoulder parts section. Start with row 1. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Turn the work piece. Pick up the first stitch and work 1 single crochet. Chain 1 for transition. Skip 1 stitch. Pick up the second stitch on the left, and work 1/2 double crochet. Chain 1 as a bridge. Skip 1 stitch. Pick up the second stitch on the left, and work 1 double crochet. Continue working based on the pattern chart, following the corresponding stitches. Complete this row. Row 1 is now done. Next, move on to row 2. Before crocheting, we need to use the carrying yarn technique to adjust the starting position. Stretch the loop. Then bring the yarn ball through the loop. Gently tighten the tail end. Then, turn the fabric. Find the second double crochet on the left side. Draw the yarn through the stitch. Pay attention, don't pull the carried yarn too tight, or too loose. Keep the piece flat. This way, you've adjusted the starting position of the tail. That's the carrying yarn technique. Now, make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Work 1 slip stitch into the adjacent chain space on the left. There's no need to tighten the slip stitch here. Then, pick up the left stitch, and work 1 single crochet. Continue working single crochets while following the pattern. Stop when you reach the 4th chain space from the end of this row. Now you've reached this position. Work 1 slip stitch into the chain space on the left side. Row 2 is now complete. Next, we need to leave a neck opening in the middle of the back piece. Keep in mind that the row numbers marked on the chart for the neck opening side only indicate the number of rows for the neck portion of the fabric. It does not correspond to the row count on the outer side of the shoulders. Let's start with row 3 of the shoulder parts, which corresponds to row 1 of the neck section. First, adjust the starting position using the carrying yarn technique. The placement in my sample is random here. Next, follow the chart instruction, and crochet the corresponding number of stitches. The last stitch is a slip stitch. This row is now done. Now we will work row 2 of the neck part. Chain 1 to begin. Turn the fabric piece. Skip the single crochet stitch on the left side. Pick up this half double crochet stitch. Work 1 single crochet. The crocheting method for the remaining part of the neck and shoulder is relatively simple. Everyone, refer to the pattern chart to crochet. While crocheting, you will use the TR2 tog. I'll demonstrate the crocheting technique with this sample swatch. Yarn over twice. Insert into the corresponding stitch. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat twice. Now there are 2 loops on the hook. This is an incomplete treble crochet. Continue by picking up the adjacent stitch on the left side. Work an incomplete treble crochet. Then yarn over. Pull through all the loops on your hook. The treble crochet decrease is now complete. Continue downward using this method. Refer to the chart. Finish crocheting the remaining part of the shoulder section on this side. After everything is completed, work 1 chain to secure. Leave a yarn tail of about 5 centimeters, then cut the yarn. The right side of the shoulder section is now finished. Next, work on the left side. Tie the yarn tail into a loose knot. Make sure the right side of the piece is facing you. Locate the starting position of the first row on the left shoulder section. In my swatch, this position is random. Insert the hook into the stitch. Draw up a loop with the slip knit. Adjust the size of the loop. The yarn joining is now complete. Chain 1 to begin. Work 1 single crochet into the next stitch on the left. Continue crocheting the remaining part of the left shoulder section using the same method. This has been demonstrated before. Everyone refer to the chart and crochet them accordingly. Up to this point, the crocheting method for the back piece has been fully explained. After completing the back piece, join the yarn on the remaining part of the body. Crochet back and forth to work the front piece. Similarly, divide it into 2 parts, the sleeve and the shoulder section for crocheting. The crocheting method for the first few rows of the sleeve is identical to that of the back piece. The repeated sections are omitted on the chart. Just follow the pattern for the back piece to crochet. While crocheting, you need to first create the front neck opening. Then work the sloping shoulder by decreasing stitches at the shoulder part. All the stitch techniques used have been demonstrated before. Please refer to the previous demonstrations. Follow the chart to crochet accordingly. After completing the front piece, use the single crochet and slip stitch methods to connect the shoulders. I'll demonstrate the method of connecting using this sample. Place the front and back pieces with their right sides facing each other. The wrong sides should be facing outward toward you. You can secure the beginning and end with a stitch marker if needed. At the farthest right position, pick up the first stitch from both the front and back pieces on the right side. Attach the yarn to the first stitch. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet into the joining position. Chain 1 as a transition. Skip the chain position. At the same time, pick up the corresponding stitches from both the front and back pieces. Work 1 single crochet into the matching stitch. Single crochet 1 stitch. Chain 1 as a transition. Continue working single crochets by picking up the corresponding stitches from both front and back pieces as you move downward. Between each 2 single crochets, chain 1 to connect. Finish crocheting the remaining part of the shoulder. After completing, fasten off the yarn normally. Weave in the ends neatly. This completes the connection of the shoulder. Everyone can follow this method to connect the other side of the shoulder. After connecting both the front and back pieces, the next step is to crochet an edging in circles around the neckline and cuffs. There are a total of 2 rounds for the edging. For the first round, pick up stitches at the corresponding positions on the fabric piece, and work single crochets. At the neckline area, start from the connected shoulder position. For the cuffs, start by joining the yarn at the corresponding underarm position. Follow the positions or patterns marked in the chart. Pick up stitches at the corresponding positions. Or crochet along the 2 threads on the edge of the fabric piece. Just evenly crochet the corresponding number of single crochets. I'll demonstrate the crochet method using this small sample. The crochet position on the sample is random. The first round is already completed. Now move on to the second round. Chain 1 as the beginning chain. Pick up the right single crochet, and work 1 reverse single crochet. Insert the hook into this stitch like this. Draw the yarn through. Finish this single crochet. This reverse single crochet is now completed. Crochet 1 chain for transition. Skip 1 stitch. Pick up the second stitch on the right, and work 1 reverse single crochet. Chain 1 for transition. Continue downward, skipping 1 stitch. Work 1 reverse single crochet and 1 chain. Complete this round. After everything is done, pick the first reverse single crochet, join with a slip stitch. Insert here approximately at the right position. Fasten off the yarn normally. Weave in the ends by yourself. The second row is now completed. This edging is now finished. Continue below following this method. Finish crocheting the border for the remaining areas. Up to this point, the crochet method for this vest has been fully explained. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to join our Facebook group to get supports. Susan's family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next episode.